And welcome to a very special edition of the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM. We are live and amplified around the world right now on the Inland Sports YouTube channel and Fox Sports, broadcasting live from the 31st annual IE All-Star Classic Media Day. And we've got head coach Vinny Fazio here at Ramona High School. This is where the game will be played next Saturday night, 7 o'clock kickoff from Ramona Stadium. We're going to talk with head coach Vinny Fazio a little bit about this All-Star game, a game that I just found out you played in this game, Coach.
1999, class of 1999. I don't know if it's the last time San Bernardino won, but it's one of the last times San Bernardino won.
So we're going to talk about the All-Star game. We got some of the All-Stars here, Brandon Morris from Redlands High School and CJ Harris from Redlands East Valley as well. So we've got a lot of stuff to get to here from IE All-Star Classic Media Day. And we've got breaking news. I don't even want to touch on this yet, but there's a huge coaching hire. Okay, I'm going to say it, at North. I'm not going to say the name yet because we're going to have the guest on the show. He's the new head football coach at JW North, and he's going to join us just a little bit later on the show.
That's called a tease, Pep. In the industry, they call that a tease.
You're a pro at this, Vinny. You're the best. We're all brought to you by Adrenaline Athletic Training in Corona. Check out adrenalineathletic.com for more details on their travel ball teams and training programs. Elite Carpet and Tiled. Spoiled quick quality oil change in Riverside. It's in the name. They're going to spoil you when you take your car in and get you back on the road in a hurry. And Remax Advantage, my good friend Joe Miller over there, offering full service real estate along with escrow and loans. You can visit remaxadvantage.me. All right, we're back here live and amplified from the IE All-Star Classic Media Day, the 31st annual. Now, last year, the Inland Empire, so Riverside County and San Bernardino County combined to take on Orange County, got ugly. Were you there, Coach, at that game?
I wasn't there, but whenever you have Matt Logan coaching a team, you got to be ready for that stuff.
Matt Logan thought it was De La Salle, I think, on the other side, and they took out all their anger on that Orange County team. It was like 69-16, but now that was the 30th annual. They want to do something a little outside of the box for the 30th, but now this is the 31st. We're back on track as Riverside County against San Bernardino County, and we got some of the All-Stars here from the San Bernardino County All-Star team. We got Brandon Morris, two receivers here, actually. We're going to start with Brandon Morris from Redlands High School over here. And Brandon, what's it like for you to be an IE All-Star and be able to team up with guys like CJ Harris over here who, on most nights, I mean, you guys are rivals. Now you're on the same team.
It's a really good experience. I feel honored to be playing in this game. CJ, my friend over here, we're enemies on the field, but off the field, we're good friends. And it's going to be fun. It's really going to be real fun.
You guys really get along? You telling the truth right now?
I'm
you guys good? I mean, I don't know. When you look back at your season for Redlands, it was a really good year. I mean, I'm not sure what the expectations were going into it, but coming out, it made it to the quarterfinals. You guys almost beat Citrus Hill. I mean, then they went on to win state.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking. I'll tell you that much. Just to know that the team that you played went all the way. But coming into the season, I knew we had some business to take care of because people were doubting us from the past 2 years, 4-6. And coming into this season, we had a statement to make.
So do you feel like this is a chance maybe to end your high school career on a winning note, at least on the football field?
Most definitely. Most definitely.
All right, let's talk to CJ Harris as well from Redlands East Valley. And CJ, Brandon Morris says you guys are actually pretty cool. Is that legit? Are you guys tight?
That's true. Going into our senior year, during the summer, we used to always do routes on the field together. We train together a lot, and we went to summer school together. We're real cool.
So for the Smudge Pot game, do you guys talk that week and like, hey, we're gonna get you, we're gonna beat you? I mean, is it all good or?
Yeah, really, we really don't even talk much about the game because we just play when we go on the field. But yeah, that's my boy. We're real good.
Now, interesting dynamic is you've got Nick Rogers, the Cajon head coach, as the San Bernardino County All-Star head coach, and when I was talking to him, he was saying, man, it's so cool to have all these different weapons. You see CJ Harris, Brandon Morris from the schools that he went up against. I mean, is it kind of cool to, I don't know, Brooks a great guy, but have another coach and kind of maybe learn some things from head coach Nick Rogers as well?
Yeah, it's really cool. My freshman year, I went to Cajon. So
did you really?
Yeah, I went to Cajon my freshman year. Then I transferred to Rev my sophomore year. So it's real cool to have him as a coach because he was just the offensive coordinator there. So now he's the head coach. So
So you know him, and he knows you.
Yeah, Yeah, we go way back.
We're here live at the IE All-Star Classic Media Day, just wrapping up here. We've got CJ Harris, a receiver from Redlands East Valley, as well as Brandon Morris, another receiver from Redlands High School. The big game is January 30th, right here at Ramona High School. Kickoff 7 o'clock. And CJ, let me ask you, so there's guys on your team from Cajon, from Redlands, from all these other schools. Is there a guy in particular or a school in particular that you're kind of looking forward to playing alongside with, besides your boy over here, Brandon Morris?
I would have to say Tyrone Grassaway, the wide receiver from Cajon, because we knew each other since we were 7. So I'm happy to have him back on my side. So
Man, so they got Brandon Morris, CJ Harris, Tyrone Gassaway. I mean, that's a pretty good receiving crew, Coach.
Yeah, you're gonna have to throw it a little bit, except until you hear who their running backs are. And then it's like, well, maybe you got to run it too. You got a lot of weapons on the San Bernardino team this year.
Sultan Sullivan, Joey Harmon, your boy, CJ Harris, and Alexander Madison.
What's the number on Sullivan's touchdowns? It's over 60, isn't it? 63 touchdowns or something.
He had a ridiculous season. So before we get out of here, Brandon Morris, let me ask you one more question as we're broadcasting live and amplified around the world from Ramona High School, the site of the 31st Annual IE All-Star Classic. It's Media Day, just wrapping up here. Brandon, so he was talking about, he knows some of the Cajon guys, the receiving core. You got your quarterback. You got Joey Barola. So you're going to tell Joey before the game, hey, get me the ball, man. This is the All-Star game. Let me make some plays.
No, I told him we got to share the love because we got a lot of good receivers. And he could throw the ball, too. I'll tell you that much. But, yeah, it's going to be – because it's going to be a good game. Just know that. It's going to be a good game.
All right, Brandon Morris and CJ Harris from the San Bernardino County All-Star team. We appreciate the time, guys. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
We'll see you next Saturday night right here for the 31st Annual IE All-Star Class. You guys can take off if you need to be somewhere.
They got lots of places to be.
I know.
These are popular guys.
We're stuck here. We're just going to hang out for a little bit longer for the rest of the hour. And, Coach, let me ask you, going back, we're going to rewind the clock just a little bit. You played in this game. What was the year?
Boy, I love to talk about my playing days. So
Sure.
This is good for me. 1999, it was over at what is now San Manuel Stadium. At that time, it was, I think, Stampede Stadium. And it was great. We had a good team. We had Joe Weber and Marquise Starks are our running backs, and Aaron Hosack from Chino, who played a few years in the NFL, was our tight end. And I think Riverside had Solomon Bates. It was a great game. It was a fun game, and I'll never forget the experience. Jim Clover's been involved with it the whole time, and it's good to see that they're still going and back on with the San Bernardino versus Riverside format.
Yeah, last year, like we said, it was the 30th anniversary. They wanted to do something a little outside of the box. They invited Orange County to come in, which there's a long-standing grudge, between those high-powered Orange County schools. And they look at the Inland Empire, and it's like, I don't know. We'll stick to our little OC circle and play our teams and whatnot. And they came out here, and we saw the result.
Well, Orange County didn't have Matt Logan. So Matt Logan is a little bit of the great equalizer in that case. And as soon as they said Coach Logan was going to coach a team, I said, well, we're going to be okay then.
We're broadcasting live and amplified the 31st Annual IE All-Star Classic next Saturday night, 7 o'clock kickoff, Ramona High School. That's January 30th. Right here, we're at Ramona Stadium right now as Media Day has wrapped up. The guys got their jerseys. They took team pictures. And what's cool is there's a $500 scholarship out there for one of the players, and it's kind of like a social media contest. So they're going to take pictures, maybe in their uniform, holding a football, whatever it's going to take, and they take pictures, put them on Instagram, put them on Twitter, and they hashtag it with either SB All-Star or Riv All-Star, and whatever player has the most likes, retweets, however they're going to calculate those, $500 scholarship.
Now, do you think these kids use a lot of social media? I'm not sure how that works now with the young people.
Yeah, they're on Twitter a little bit on Instagram. You're on there, aren't you?
Well, it's
do you do the Ramona account?
It's a little bit of me. It's a little bit. We got some people that run it. We have multiple. I don't know. That might be against the terms of service. They might be kicking me off of that thing. But we have multiple people that kind of run that deal. So hopefully I won't go out home and be locked out of the Twitter account.
Well, I can tell when you're doing it because it has a certain tone to it, a certain voice. I'm like, I think Vinny posted that from the Ramona Rams football account. So what is the Twitter handle? Do you know off the top of your head? Is it
I think it's Ramona Rams FB. I think it's at Ramona Rams FB.
That sounds right. Or the house that Vinny built. Is it?
Yeah, we're looking for followers. Let's get going out there.
There you go. So we're broadcasting live and amplified from Ramona Stadium. The breaking news that we're going to talk about in the second segment is JW North has a new head football coach. It just happened. We're going to have him live on the air. As Vinny said, it's a tease. We're not going to give it away quite yet. So that's coming up in our second segment.
I also think what we're doing today is called a remote. I looked at it. It is. It's a remote.
It's a remote. When you're doing something outside of the studio, live on location.
I'm a professional, man. I got to gear this up if I'm going to be co-hosting.
Now, have you coached in the All-Star game? You played. Have you ever been like an assistant or anything like that?
I've never coached in an All-Star game. Alex Pierce was the coach one year and invited me to coach, but we happened to be going to the AFCA, American Football Coach Association convention was that week. So I was out of town and wasn't able to do it. So I've never coached in an All-Star game. They never invite me, Pep. It's just like you. You rarely invite me on the show. I have a problem getting invited places.
And when you are on the show, I'm like nowhere to be found. You know how that works out?
I absolutely know how that works out, Pep.
I would call in from Turlock, California, USA, or Seattle, or wherever we were.
The Fury and the Fury dancers.
Yeah, we were hanging out
around all over California,
all over the country.
And I got to sit in there with Zink all the time.
That's a bad deal. That's a bad rap.
Well, it's certainly not balanced.
Well, Zeke is actually at the PGA golf tournament out in the desert, or he would be here as well. But I know he sends his love.
They tell me no Ricky Fowler, though, huh? No Ricky Fowler out there.
No, I don't think he is out there. I think he's in Dubai or Europe or one of those places playing some golf.
Wherever he wants to be.
Marietta Valley guy.
Absolutely.
As a former Marietta Valley head coach, is there any tribute to Ricky on campus?
I know Coach Ireland, who was the football coach and golf coach there for a long time, has all the old flags of Ricky's scores hanging all over his room.
All real low, I'm sure.
He must be a really good golf coach to have Ricky shoot such low numbers. He must have really been coaching him up.
Coach Ireland gets all the credit for that one, right? Actually, they have a really good golf program at Marietta Valley.
Absolutely do.
So if you're the head coach for an all-star team, do you go in with a game plan as in, okay, these guys are going to play like every other series, or this guy's going to have the whole first quarter and third quarter? I mean, when you go into it, all the guys want to play. They're all good. I mean, how do you kind of spread the wealth, get everyone in there a chance to play? And, of course, you try to win the game. You play to win the game, right?
When I played, Coach Monger from Chino High School was our coach, legendary coach from Chino High School. And the way we did it was the first quarter, there were guys that had the first quarter, and then there were guys that had the second quarter. And then the second half, we were just going to play to win the game. So you were guaranteed to play one of the first or second quarter at your position. And then the second half, he was going to play the guys that he thought gave us the best chance to win. And so that was, I thought,
that seems fair enough, right?
Yeah, and it was fair. Everybody got to play, but we were able to win the game. So I thought that was always kind of the path I thought I would take if I was ever in that situation.
I mean, because obviously it's a great moment. You want to soak it in. You're going to create some memories. It's an all-star game, something you'll hang your hat on well after your high school playing days. But at the end of the day, you're out there to win and get that W, and
Yeah, after the first really 2 or 3, 4 plays, the novelty of it wears off.
Yeah.
It's just a football game. You're just playing a football game. And I remember it didn't take long, and you looked across like, okay, we got to find a way to tackle these guys. We got to find a way to block these guys. It wasn't, okay, well, we're in an all-star game. Yeah, have much fun. But, once you start playing, you won't play the game.
Now, you got a Ramona guy out here. Who is it, and what kind of advice do you give to him for this big game?
You know what? I just told him to go play. I was excited that Kevin got invited. He had such a great year for us. He was a guy that transferred before last season and wasn't eligible because of the transfer stuff. And then he only got to play his senior season and just really had a great year for us. Was a dominant force on the defensive line, a big part of our success on defense. So I was happy for Kevin, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do against some of the best players in the area.
All right, it's called the biggest game in history. No, I'm serious. That's what it says on all the posters. The 31st annual IE All-Star Classic, right there at the top of the poster. The biggest game in history.
That's a big game.
And you know what?
Biggest game in history.
I mean, and last year was the biggest game in history. So every year they one up it. You know, you got to
like
keep
Office Space. Every day I come
is.
to work is slightly worse than the day before.
But in all seriousness, it's going to be fun. It's going to feature a lot of great players capping off their high school careers here at Ramona Stadium. The very best from Riverside County taking on the very best from San Bernardino County. It's January 30th right here at Ramona High School. It's the 31st annual IE All-Star Classic. Now, Media Day is just wrapping up. The guys got their jerseys. They took team pictures. They talked to local reporters. We're going to keep this thing going up until noon. You keep it here, right here on the Inland Sports YouTube channel and Fox Sports Radio 1350. When we come back, we will talk with the new head coach of your JW North Huskies. That's still to come on the one and only Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Every sport that we offer here, the performance training is definitely specific to what they need. A lot of people actually come in here for the performance training, and also we have our travel ball program with our softball and baseball teams. Our performance training definitely to get quicker, stronger, faster.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. Just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Alright, 10 seconds.
We are having a good time here at the 31st annual IE All-Star Classic Media Day. We're clearing out here at Ramona Stadium. The big game next Saturday night, 7 o'clock, Ramona High School, the 31st annual IE All-Star Classic, Riverside County versus San Bernardino County. It's going to be a great game, and we appreciate you listening here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM, and we are live and amplified around the world on the Inland Sports Channel on YouTube. All brought to you by Adrenaline Athletic Training, Elite Carpet and Tile, Remax Advantage, and Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Now joining us, and this is breaking news. I think it happened in the wee hours of the night. I'm not really sure. If I can share this real quick, I got a text message. My phone blows up at 2:30 in the morning. And my wife's like, "Who's that?" So if your phone's going off in the middle of the night and your wife's like, why is your phone? It's a bad deal right there. So it was the news that our good friend here, Doug Du Bois, is the new head coach at JW North, and he's kind enough to join us here on the Inland Sports Show. First off, Coach, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So it kind of all happened on Friday, I guess, right? That kind of made it official, or?
Yeah, I don't know if it's official now, so.
It's on the Inland Sports Show, so it's a done deal.
Once it's on the Inland Sports Show, it's official.
No, I'm excited. It's an opportunity. I'm very blessed and very excited to get going.
Now, you've been coaching where? Vista Marietta with Coley Candell down there. I mean, have you taken things from what the Broncos did and what they do well, and they do a lot of things well, that you might be able to carry over to JW North?
You know, everywhere I've been, I try to carry something over from somebody I've worked with. Coley does an amazing job. It's a special place to be. I love the way they do a lot of things, play fast, and his special teams, we all know that he's a killer on special teams. So I've taken some of those things and taken it with me.
Talking with Doug Du Bois, new head coach at JW North. The last head coaching gig, that was at Citrus Hill, is that correct?
Yeah.
I mean, did you want to be a head coach, or were you waiting for the right opportunity? Was JW North the place for you?
After I left Citrus?
Yeah.
You know, I went up for a few jobs in the area and just didn't. I don't know if I came in second, if there is a second when you're not trying to get a job, but I was really blessed just to be able to, get north, and I wanted it. It's a job that I think could be a spectacular job, and I love the community, the alumni there. When I was a player at Canyon Springs, that was my rival back in the day. You got guys from Ed Gray, Chris, Adrian Claiborne, just guys that are monsters there. So it's a school that has a lot of tradition, and I think it was also a challenge for me. I was looking for a challenge.
If you're going to describe your brand of football, the kind of stamp of approval that you're going to put on the Huskies program, how would you describe Doug Du Bois football? What kind of football should we expect at JW North?
I think you'll see a lot of discipline as far as that, but just hustle, speed, and just guys like to have fun, passionate about it. Again, this is high school football, so we got to have fun, and that's why we coach. And if it's not fun, you're not going to translate into having very success on the field. So just have fun, enjoy it, love the kids, and just get after it. So.
Right, we're live from Ramona High School for the 31st annual IE All-Star Classic Media Day, and you were telling me that you were actually a player in this game, and you also coached in this game. What do you remember? Start as a player. What do you remember back as a player in the IE All-Star Classic?
See, it was a long time ago. It was 92, I think. I just remember being able to get with the Norco guys. That was kind of huge for us, being at Canyon Springs. Guys like Shea Murbrook, guys that played at Norco, and just coming together. Wayne Cochran was my coach, great coach. It was just fun. We played at the RCC at the stadium, and a lot of good players in that game, and just the experience was good, so I enjoyed it. Jim Clover does an amazing job too, by the way.
Jim Clover's been around forever, and he keeps going, and the game gets big.
He looks exactly the same as he looked. There's something going on with him. I don't know what it is. I'm suspicious. I'm gonna go find out. That'll be the next breaking news segment.
He actually popped my kneecap back in when I was a freshman. When dislocated my knee, and I always tell him that. He's always tells me that story. I remember him doing that. So yeah, I've known him since as a freshman.
When he did that, did he look exactly the same as he looks today? Because I don't think he's aging.
No, he didn't.
And he's always so calm. Did he come over and say, Doug, hold on a second. Your kneecap, it doesn't look right. I'm going to pop it back.
And he was really calm. He just said, bite down. He goes, bite down harder. And went boom and popped it in. It was amazing.
The one and only Jim Clover. I thought he was still around here. He might already taken off here. But, Jim Clover, Rodney Kyle, some of the guys who have been very instrumental behind the scenes of the 31st annual IE All-Star Classic. It's next Saturday night, 7 o'clock kickoff from Ramona High School. So, Coach Du Bois, we're breaking the news. I know some other places might have it as well, that you're the new head football coach at JW North. Have you had a chance to talk to the guys, maybe some of the players? I mean, or has this just happened and you're still waiting to get in there?
I think it just happened. I'm waiting to get over there. I think tomorrow or actually Monday, get on campus and talk to the kids and the players and hopefully start, So that's what I'm looking forward to. It just happened. So I'm just kind of here on the
Coach, what are, from a guy that's been through this process that you're going through, talk to us about what are some of the first things you want to do now that you've taken over. What do you want to do first?
Well, I think just seeing, I haven't even seen the stadium, the campus. I want to figure out what do I need for equipment-wise, weight room, actually start checking grades and see what we got. I started watching film and, just doing those things and just kind of getting, make my presence felt there a little bit and just clean it up, clean some things up. When I say that, I mean like the equipment room and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's amazing when you take over at places. Sometimes you go, wow, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe it's immaculate. I don't know. Coach Rice is a good guy. Maybe it's clean. I don't know.
So if you have the pine saw and all that stuff, we'll know what's going on. Their stadium is beautiful. It's still relatively it's new, and it's awesome.
I haven't seen it. I heard good things about it. So I'm excited. I think that's good for the community there. It's one of those things that intrigued me about the job too, as well, was having a place on campus. I mean, some of these schools it's difficult sometimes to be a head coach and you got to travel everywhere. So that was one thing that intrigued me about it.
Was it tough to leave Vista Marietta? I mean, you had a great thing going. Coley, I mean, everyone loves Coley Candell. I mean, you had a good thing? I mean, was it the right job that would have to bring you out of that situation? Because from the outside looking in, Vista Marietta is a great program, and why would you leave unless it was like a really good job out there for you?
Well, I left Citrus because I was going through a divorce at the time, personal reasons, and so my son is a golfer. He's a senior there at Vista Marietta, and that's just kind of how I got on. They asked, I think my son was in Coley's class, and said, "Is your dad so and so?" And then we talked, and with my son being there, that's the reason why I coached there. And then having a great staff there, I really enjoyed the defensive guys and just working. And it's right by my house, so it was like something it was easy for me. So yeah, if I was to leave, it would have to be a job that, was going to be enticing enough to do it. So Coley's, obviously he's stepping down, and he's a great coach. And I think whoever comes in has an amazing program already built. I mean, I just coached a linebacker. I mean, that's all I did was we got 11 guys on defense, and I think we got 11 guys on offense. So it's crazy.
So is it going to be Game of Thrones over there to take that job over, or is it going to be an outsider? What's your, from a kind of guy that was inside the program, what's your feeling?
I have no idea. I think I think they'll look within, and if not, then go outside too. I mean, that's a national job too. Everybody knows that's a great job, but that's a family over there, and they have. If you look at that staff, they have a lot of great coaches that are on that staff, and a lot of knowledge. So whoever comes in, whoever gets, is going to be already not having to worry about that. I think because they have such a good, even from their lower level programs. I mean, it's a stack. It's a family over there, and I think it's a true, tradition, and it's a great job. So.
Well, it won't be Doug Du Bois.
No.
We know that. I mean, because he's the new head football coach at JW North.
That would be more breaking news.
Well, speaking of breaking news, I saw this on Twitter, and this has nothing to do with you, Coach, but it's kind of a random thing. So Sharon Jones, the quarterback at the Rancho Verde a couple seasons ago, went to Tennessee, right?
Yes.
Transferred to Colorado.
Yes.
But it was in a 14-day window. He decided to transfer back to Tennessee.
Wow.
Yeah, you never see something like that. So.
Well, you don't ever see something like that. I didn't know.
So.
Look, that is great breaking
Isn't that strange?
news.
Strange but true.
Yeah, I was all ready to talk about him going to Colorado. I had that all prepared.
Yeah.
Now my preparation's blown.
All that homework, you stayed
Thanks
up all night long
I
with
put
the baby.
A lot of work into that.
We're talking with Doug Du Bois. We got Vinny Fazio here as well, the head football coach at Ramona High School here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM, and around the world on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. Coach, you get to play Canyon Springs. Is that exciting for you when you play them in league play, being at North?
Yeah, I mean, that's where I got my first start, under Fogarty back in the day. So, it's my alumni. I think it's a great job. That's a good job. I don't think there's a coach there now. So, I mean, if I was a young guy looking at a job, I'm looking at Canyon Springs, thinking that's a good place to be. So, it'd be exciting to go back. So, it'd be interesting to see them build a stadium there, too. It's going to be kind of weird. We've always wanted one. I remember back in the days, me and Zoe and Zomont and everybody there, and finally they're going to build one. So, it's like, wow, finally.
So let's say dream scenario. I love the hypothetical game.
Right.
You bring North around. You turn it around. They hold a parade in your honor in downtown Riverside. North is back in the playoffs, and you get Citrus Hill in the postseason. Would that be pretty special for you? I mean, would that be fun?
I'm always going to be a Hawk. Easy and GZ, those are my guys, man. To build a program from scratch, and then what they've done, since I've left. I mean, he's taken it to a whole nother level. So it's always going to be a special thing for me to start that program, and it'd be fun to play them. Anytime you can play those guys, it'd be fun. But hey, we're not even on that level right now.
I think there's a lot of people that don't think it's that fun to play them the last few years. It has not been that much fun to play those guys.
Yeah, they got a great thing going over there, and obviously the Inland title, the Southern California Regional title, the state championship. Right. I mean, the Zomalts did an outstanding job.
Yeah, it just keeps getting better and better each year, and I think that's the challenge. When I first took over that job, nobody thought we would be successful over there, and being so close to King and being in the district with the Rancho Verde, they thought that it would be hard, but it was difficult. But it's taken off. It's doing amazing things over there. So, and that's just GZ and Easy, and not only that, they have a staff there that we were all together when we were at Canyon Springs back in the day, and then we all came over to Citrus. So they have a really good staff too. I mean, Lou Randall, my old coach, I think he's on, the old Lou Randall. He's there. I didn't mean to call you old coach, but he's
gonna find you.
As opposed to the young Lou Randall.
Well, there's a bunch of Randalls, yeah. So he's there. They got a lot of guys, and the school atmosphere over there is good too.
All right, so I know you haven't been on campus yet to really get your hands dirty. You haven't seen the kids or anything like that, but from the outside looking in, what was it about that North program where you said, this could get me back in the head coaching ranks, and something exciting about this program? Because it's had a lot of prominence last couple of years. John Rice is a good dude. He's one of my favorite guys, but the win-loss record just wasn't there. So what was it about the program that just kind of piqued your interest, I guess?
To be honest, I think it's a Riverside. I'm a Riverside guy, Moreno Valley guy, if you want to say that. And I think the culture there, I fit in good with those kind of kids, and the atmosphere, the administration, and staff is amazing there. And then they're winning in other sports. If you look at Barty, he's an amazing coach, and Madril's winning in baseball, and it's just like all the programs are starting to come on. So I think it just like piqued my interest, and I said, let's go for it, let's try it. So
spring ball's right around the corner.
It is.
I mean, like
Monday starts Monday.
Oh, great.
Kids, bring your shorts.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things. If when you take a new job, is that the focus on what's going on there. I don't think we'll be doing too much outside of North. Just trying to get that going there. That's so. If spring ball is really around the corner, I'm in trouble. I got to get going fast.
It's probably like in March or something like that. But
no, we're just kidding.
I know. But now everybody's doing year-round stuff and all that, and I haven't been a head coach in like 5-6 years, so it's like I got to read up on some rules, and I don't know.
You think the game's changed at all?
No,
it's still football, right?
Yeah, it's still football. It's still fun. I think that's the one thing I got back into it just because of the relationship with kids, and enjoy that. I think that's the reason why we coach. If we're in this, it's definitely just to have fun, and it's good.
So you say your son's a senior right now at Vista Marietta?
Yeah.
So he'll finish up this spring, and then you'll hit football season, and
Yeah, I'm gonna be able to hopefully watch him. I wish he would have played football. He's like 6'4", 200-something pounds. He's a golfer, but I'm proud of him, and he's gonna graduate, and I think that was partly an easier job for me a decision to start looking for a head job is because he was done with school this year, and if you had another couple years there, I'd still be at Vista. So I don't think I would have necessarily looked for the head job, but I was. Every year, there's always a job that comes up every year that's intriguing, and you go for it, and you're like, it's a good job. I don't think we just picked a certain job.
So it's not like you've been applying.
There's 60 of them.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, there's
60 jobs open right now.
Unbelievable.
Just in the area.
Yeah.
So it's not like you were sending out your resume to every single job opening in the area just for the sake of.
No. And when there's a good job come open, I think everybody piques your interest. So. It's tough, I'm very blessed to be at North, to get back in to be a head coach again. Like I said, I've probably been up for 5 or 6 jobs and haven't gotten it, So, if you keep working at it, certain reasons, things happen for a reason. I'm blessed to be there, and I'm excited.
You kind of reach back in the past maybe and kind of, touch on that North prominence, their history, their tradition a little bit, and kind of get kids excited and, remind them, hey, you know what? This is a good program. This is a great school. Let's put it back on the map where it belongs.
Yeah, I mean, the history there is, the Husky. I remember as a player, fourth quarter, North quarter, just hearing the things. But the alumni I think are excited too. I know a lot of the old alumni guys, and I'm just happy to be there. And I think the tradition of just getting the program back on its feet. But it's going to take a lot of work, and things aren't just easy. So we got to work hard and try to get that tradition back.
What's the number one thing you feel like you have to establish, like from day one, whenever you walk in there for spring ball, or maybe it's this summer, I'm not sure, but what's the one thing you're like, you know what, we've got to do this if we have any chance of being successful?
I know this sounds kind of funny, but we got to love each other, and if all of us can love each other and be on the same page, I think love's a powerful thing, and I know that kind of sounds like from a man saying that, but that's what we need. I mean, I've always used that everywhere I've been. Try to get these kids together, the coaches together, and if everybody believes in the same thing, I think this will, be a good spot.
I love it. Do you guys love on your team, Vinny, at Ramona? Do you guys love?
We're working our way to love. We're working our way.
I knew somehow you were going to say something. I should have. Yeah.
I mean, Valentine's Day's right around the corner. I mean,
one thing that Rick Candell, Coley's dad, used to always talk about was you could coach a player hard. You can yell at a kid. You can coach a player hard if he knows you care about him. Right. And we talk about that all the time. We need as a staff. We need to make sure our players understand that we care about them and we have their best interests at heart and we want them to do good things. And if they understand that and they really believe that, you can coach them hard. You can hold them accountable. I think that's, that without saying it a little different way, but that's the way we talk about it, and I got that from Coley's dad, from Rick Candell. So I believe that really is important. They got to know you care about them. Otherwise, they're just going to shut you off. There's no reason for them to listen to you.
Kind of same approach, Coach?
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of players that were there that, maybe have not played. I think there's, I just was talking to Clover. Everybody says there's a lot of guys on campus and that want to play. So I think, I'm a new fresh, face for them. So, I'm going to reach out to those players and try to get to them and tell them how much I love them already. And I think once I get that going, I think, they can see that these kids are smart. They can read through things. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, that's been kind of the talk. There's some athletes on campus. They got some guys who can play football that, just get them out on the team, coach them up, easy. And easy, right? 10-0, 10-0.
Yeah, that's real easy. Yeah.
Well, it's a fine line when you're talking about that on your own campus, especially because you want to get the kids out, but at the same time, it's hard to be a football player. It's hard to go through a football offseason. It's hard to go through a summer. So it's like, hey, come on out, do this, and then go through the hardest thing you've ever done in your whole life. I mean, it's a fine line that you walk when you're trying to get those kids out. You want them out. You want all the best players out, but at the same time, look, this is going to be hard. It's going to be one of the hardest things you've ever done.
Yeah, and that is very true because it's so demanding nowadays, and long hours and doing that.
Commitment,
and it does. I think my son asked me, he was going to come out his junior year at Vista. And I said, listen, you don't understand the commitment it takes. And, I just try to tell him, if you want to do it, I'll support you. But it's a long.
Be all in.
Yeah, and if you're not, I think you'll find out real quick. You could probably have kids on your campus that come out there for 3 days and they look amazing. And then they don't show up on the 5th day, and you're like going, there they go, they're gone. So the commitment level. But, yeah, that's part of coaching, though, just trying to build the program. Down there at Vista, we have 300,000 kids. You know what I mean? So
that's not exaggeration. Yeah, I think that's actually a real
number.
A
lot of kids on that campus.
Yeah.
So it's a little different situation going from Vista Marietta, obviously, to JW North.
Yeah, I think it's more similarly like a Citrus situation or Canyon Springs situation. I think, I think that's what it's like. Down there it's a little different. Just enrollment, but then also, having 200 guys on the team, I don't think they have probably 200 guys. I don't know.
In all 3 levels.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. So
I think it's a good league. I think they're placed in a league where North can win. I mean, I think you guys can win in that league. Obviously, Rancho Verde has been really good for years, but I think everybody else in that league is pretty similar in terms of what
they were in the playoff hunt until the final week.
And I think with the new division deal, with the way they're doing the division now, if you can get in the playoffs, you may be playing games you can win. I mean, you may get in the play. It's not the same as it used to be where you're tied to those upper teams in your league. If you can just get in the playoffs, coach, you got a chance to win some games.
Oh, we're already talking playoffs, huh?
Yeah. Well, I've already made 10-0 playoffs, right? So.
Yeah. I've already got you in the playoffs. We're already focused on the first round now. We're looking at first round opponents.
Man, we just put the bar up for you.
There you go. I don't know about that, but yeah, I agree with the new format the way it is. It's like. I think it's going to make things interesting. I'm not sure if I want to comment if I like it or not, do like it, but it is what it is. If it changes sometimes the way to go. So, it'll be fun. It'll be interesting. I think it's going to, change up some things around here. So.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's true.
All right, head coach Doug DuBois joining us here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM, and the Inland Sports YouTube channel. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
We appreciate the time for you coming down here on a Saturday.
You do a great job, man.
And I don't know, spring ball I guess could be Monday. I don't know, right? I mean,
Bring your cleats, Mark. Bring your cleats.
All right, we appreciate the time. When we come back, we'll have more from the 31st Annual IE All-Star Classic Media Day. We'll talk about the big game next Saturday night, talk about some of the players in it, and we'll bring in Dennis Pope from Fieldhouse of My Brain. He's going to chat. Maybe we'll talk soccer. I don't know. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll go down that road. I just don't know. Do you know soccer, Vinny?
I don't know as much about soccer, but I know Dennis Pope looks very scary in that outfit right now with that beard and the hood up. I'm glad that you told me who that was, because I thought that was just some guy watching us.
Some creeper, right? All right, we'll be back on the one and only Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.
Every sport that we offer here, the performance training is definitely specific to what they need. A lot of people actually come in here for the performance training, and also we have our travel ball program with our softball and baseball teams. Our performance training definitely to get quicker, stronger, faster.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
And welcome back to the one and only Inland Sports Show. You can find us on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM, and live on YouTube on the Inland Sports channel. We appreciate our sponsors, Adrenaline Athletic Training in Corona, Elite Carpet and Tile, Remax Advantage, and Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. We're talking about the 31st Annual IE All-Star Classic, a.k.a. the biggest game in history. I mean, this is as big as it gets. I think we had some Centennial kids on the show a couple weeks ago. I was like, listen, you guys won Pac-5. That's nice. You played for the state championship against De La Salle. That's pretty good, too. But we're talking about the biggest game in history. This is the IE All-Star Classic. They didn't buy it, though.
Biggest game in history. That's a good name.
But it's still a big game. We're excited about it. It's Riverside County against San Bernardino County. It's next Saturday, January 30th at Ramona High School. Today was Media Day. We're the last ones here. We're closing down the party. And we've got Dennis Pope is still partying. The Love Fest will continue. We had Du Bois on who says it's all about love. And now we're gonna continue the Love Fest here with Dennis Pope from Fieldhouse of My Brain, local soccer reporter. Maybe we'll get to some soccer. I don't know, but we're gonna talk about the IE.
Focus on football. It's okay.
Hey, well, speaking of soccer, I do got to plug this game that's coming up next Monday. Our next live game that we're putting on IEMG is Colton against Arroyo Valley Girls Soccer. That's a 3:15 kickoff, so you can check that out live on IEMG. That's our next live game. We got a basketball game next week, but the next one you got to put on your calendar. I know Dennis Pope will be there, right? You're going to be there?
It'll be more than likely.
Yeah, he's going to be there, so you know it's a big game. Colton against Arroyo Valley Girls Soccer live on IEMG.
Only the biggest. Dennis Pope only shows up to the biggest games.
Only the biggest.
It is a San Andreas League, duel, so it'll be a pretty important one, I think.
All right, so we're talking IE All-Star Classic, El Clásico, and it's Riverside County against San Bernardino County. Pope, you were here at Media Day. Just kind of your general thoughts as you were, moseying around, talking to some of the guys and seeing the coaches, and it seemed like a pretty loose bunch.
Yeah, there's some big dudes here. I was a little surprised. I haven't seen all the players this season. I saw, I don't know, I think 25 or 26 different high school local teams this year covering local football. So it was good to see some guys I hadn't seen before. Shemaiah Unitoa Whitson from Sanji, which is a team I did not cover this year, but I heard great things about him.
He's a beast.
He's a freak. This guy is like, linebacker, ridiculous.
Yeah, DN line. I mean, you could probably put him anywhere you want on the field, and he's gonna make plays.
He's the guy the in-betweener, right? What do you call the edge rusher?
Yeah.
There's a ton of words for those players, but he's got big things coming for him.
Going to Oregon State.
Yeah.
So
and
he's legit.
The amount of skill players I think in this game is more impressive than years past in the Riverside versus San Bernardino duel. You'll see a handful of guys, and then the best players will be like, nah, no thanks. But this year it seems like all the guys are here. So
yeah, there's a handful of guys who go play in the Army All-American game and the Under Armour game and whatnot, and some of them actually enroll early, get through their colleges early, and the colleges are, they say no, that's a no-go. You can't play in the any All-Star game for that matter. But we got a lot of big ones, of course. There's a lot of Centennial kids. Yeah. There's a lot of Rancho Verde players. There's a lot of Cajon players, and for good reason. They all had fantastic seasons.
Well, if you're the Riverside County coach, who are you going to call? You know what I mean?
No doubt about that.
Right? You see J.J. Taylor here, and that's a huge coup for Coach Steinberg, to have a guy of that quality.
Well, here's the running backs. Let me get your reaction to this, Pope. J.J. Taylor, right? Jamal Scott.
Well,
and wait, I'm missing one, and I feel bad.
Citrus.
Oh yeah, Devin Floyd, the dude.
Yeah, you're missing the dude.
I mean,
how do you miss the dude?
He is the dude.
And we're forgetting somebody else too, Freddie Hawley.
Oh my goodness.
Right. So
have you heard of Freddie Hawley, Vinny?
I've seen Freddie Hawley many times.
Okay.
Yeah, that. Gosh, to look over on your sideline and see all those guys wearing number 20 some odd jerseys, you'd be like, I don't even have to coach. I just hand the ball to these guys. My job is done. Unfortunately, there weren't a couple quarterbacks here for today for Riverside. I think both Anthony Catalano and Brett Virgil were a little no-show today, which is a little disappointing.
They're both on recruiting trips.
Yeah, likely story.
Yeah, no, Brett Virgil is at Army. I know that for a fact. And Anthony Catalano also on a college official visit somewhere.
Hey, good for him.
Yeah, I didn't hear the school, but they told me, Steinberg told me that Catalano informed him. He's like, I got an official visit. I got to go. But he's playing in the game, just couldn't be here today. And Brett Virgil at West Point today. He's already committed to Army. Right. I think kind of solidifying it with an official visit.
So they're big timing us, is that what you're telling me?
They're big. They didn't know you were going to be here. So
they might have Virgil out doing early morning drills already down at West Point.
They might, man. He's a special.
I don't know if those trips are the same as everybody else's trips.
Virgil and Anthony Catalano grew up playing with each other on the same Pop Warner youth team. They know each other. They're good friends. And we had them on the show. They both wear number 8. I said, who's the real number 8? Who's wearing number? I mean, that's with an all-star game. You got to run into that. I saw Shemaiah Unitoa Whitson, the guy you were talking about for San Gorgonio, and he was looking around because he had number 2 on, but he's not number 2. He wore number 3. And he's like, who's got number 3? I'm coming for you. How big are you or small are you? What size are you? I'm going to take that number 3.
Yeah,
it's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, you would see, at least some rock, paper, scissors for it or something, right? Yeah, that's a good question there. I mean, both Division I quality quarterbacks. Who's going to end up wearing the 8 jersey on Saturday night?
I'm wondering if J.J. Taylor's going to wear the mouthpiece with the teeth on it, like you wore in the CIF championship.
That's pretty cool.
That was a cool mouthpiece. So I'm hoping the mouthpiece makes the trip to the biggest game in history.
That's right.
It would then be the biggest mouthpiece in history, would it not?
That's the greatest mouthpiece in history.
And I can't even make this up. If you're watching this live and amplified right now, I want to punch up the poster once again. That's how they dub it, the biggest game in history. And at first, we kind of
that is a big game.
We kind of read it and we kind of laughed. And the more we read it, we're like, you know what? We're gonna buy into this. We're gonna do this.
We're all in.
Hashtag biggest game in history, the IE All-Star Classic. So
hashtag team biggest game in history.
Yes. That should have been the hashtag for the social media scholarship.
Yeah. I'm going to tweet that out right now.
Do it right now.
Yeah, I'm going to tweet that out.
Why don't you take a selfie of you doing the show live right now and then put it on there? Biggest game in history.
Hashtag
but once again, a reminder, it's a $500 scholarship to one of these IE All-Stars. And it's a social media thing. You got to go on there, take some pictures, got to get some likes and some retweets and all that, and they will determine who's got the most social media activity. $500 scholarship. That's pretty cool for one of these IE All-Star Classic players. So we're here live from Ramona High School. The big game is next Saturday night, January 30th, Riverside County taking on San Bernardino County. And Coach, did you have to fight for a number when you played in the game?
You know, it was weird the way they did it when I played. You wrote it on they sent like a questionnaire and you wrote your number on the questionnaire, and then if they had conflicts, then then you argued it out. But I think I was good. I think I was good to go. I remember our safety was one of the Sorensen brothers.
Oh yeah,
Colton.
Daniel Sorensen.
It was one of the Sorens. I don't remember what. There were so many Sorensens, but it was one of the good ones. And he forgot to write a number, so he was the starting free safety for the San Bernardino team. He was number 74. He wore 74 the whole game as a starting free safety. He had a great game. I think he had a reception. Wearing number 74.
This doesn't look right. There's something not right about that.
The number, man.
Yeah.
You play like the Sorensens play. You can wear whatever number you want.
Yeah. That's like I think his name was Travis Wilson. He was the quarterback for Elsinore, and he wore 22.
Absolutely. We played that team.
Oh, did you really?
We played that team.
How'd you do? Did you win?
We beat him. Yeah, we beat him. But he was a good player. He ran the option, threw the ball a little bit. He was a good player.
Oh, and Guglielmano was still there, right?
Absolutely. He was a junior, and Shane Pico, who is now at Claremont Mudd Scripps College, killing it.
Is he
led
really?
The team in rushing last year. Was the fullback, and they had it was a good offensive team. And Pico's doing the alma mater proud right now.
Well, Guglielmano's at the U of R.
I know.
The University of Redlands.
Yeah. He had a bunch of yards in their last game of the year.
He got some playing time.
I think he'll be.
They had some senior heavy running backs, so he's going to get his chance.
I agree. I think he'll be a big factor for them.
Wow, U of R soccer. You guys didn't think you'd hear that on the show today, did you?
U of R. Is that a fall sport? I don't even know.
Did I say soccer? I meant U of R football.
Football.
Yeah.
U of R football. Yeah.
Coach Maynard, man. I always got to get Coach Maynard in there whenever I can, man. That's my guy.
He was such a good dude. I went out to Washington State, had a football camp out there. And a lot of, in fact, C.J. Harris, who we had earlier on the show from Redlands East Valley, a lot of guys out there, working out for the Cougars, coaching staff. And, of course, the U of R was out there. And Coach Maynard came over to me, and I'm shooting video and doing my thing. And he's like, hey, where are you from? And what's your deal? And when I was talking to him, he's like, hey, here's my cell phone number. Call me. If you need anything, let me know. And I'm like, he just met me. I could, not that I'd be lying through my teeth about anything, but he just met me, super good dude, and just gave me his cell phone number because he wants coverage.
Not a better guy in the world, not a more accessible guy that willing to give his time, and nobody puts more time in than Coach Maynard. I mean, if you call his cell phone, you could probably just call his desk phone because he's there. I mean,
all the time.
Anytime you could imaginably call him, he's at work. He's getting work done.
It's got to be, 25 years there for him now?
Oh, it's been a while. I can't.
27, 28.
Yeah, it's getting up there, and for a while it was half the time he was there. They were winning the league championship. I mean, it was like 14 out of 27 years. So, just legend in our area.
I know they're constantly in the Division III and championship
in the playoffs, absolutely, and play. Real teams in the non-league too. They played Linfield College. They play Mary Hardin Baylor. They play. I mean, they're not ducking. The University of Redlands doesn't duck anybody. They play all comers.
Do you watch Dan Patrick, Dennis Pope?
Yeah, I catch it on that.
Do you know the 5 good seconds of soccer? Paulie gets 5 seconds.
Right.
You got 5 seconds. Give me your soccer analysis. You just something you want to say? 5 seconds.
Jordan Morris is the next Landon Donovan. He's going to be great.
What school does he go to?
He doesn't go to school anymore. He plays for the Seattle Sounders now.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
He just graduated from Stanford. I don't know if he graduated, but he just won. He won.
He's not there anymore.
He won the Herman Award. He's the next big thing. Jordan Morris.
That's easily 10 seconds. I mean, man, you got double the coverage here. We got to give a shout out to C.J. Harris, receiver from Redlands East Valley, Brandon Morris, a receiver from Redlands, and of course the new head football coach at JW North, Doug Du Bois, doing his very first interview. He wasn't officially the coach until he came onto the show. He said he came on Inland Sports and it was a done deal. So
he signed his contract right here.
Yeah, when it happens here, it's official. It's like signing day. There were a couple different hats. We should have done the whole thing.
Vinny Fazio, head coach here for the Ramona Rams. We appreciate the time. You're always the best. You come in here and jump in as an analyst, and your insight is second to none.
I'm just happy when you call me and it doesn't have to be Zink all the time. Quit sending Zink messages
I know.
to send to me.
He's my henchman. I'm like, go get Vinny. It's all brought to you by Adrenaline Athletic Training in Corona, Elite Carpet and Tile, Remax Advantage, and Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. We will see you next Saturday, the same day as the 31st annual IE All-Star Classic, Ramona High School. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff next Saturday. We hope to see you out there. If not, you can watch it live with Inland Sports. We'll tweet out the television and web details of where you can find it. For everyone here at Inland Sports, I'm Pep Fernandez. We'll see you next Saturday on the one and only Inland Sports Show.